was anointed like they razors. Sent us out in the earth with prayer, music, and word. Slaying dragons to dirt and stumping them to the curb. Mantles full of his glory, snapping half every curse. Kingdom going berserk, cause I don't mean you disperse. Y'all better strapped in your armor, helmets on and we blazing. Place in place with our shields, for the devils we facing. Running gospel to nations, rocking truth like a station. Wave drawing the swords for Christ the King, he amazing. Church over we kingdom, precepts we mean them. Living led by his love, that means we seen them. Lost souls we bring them, God's ways we feed them. To carry the news of the crucified, killing and rose from the dead and redeemed them. Lord, raining from the heaven with a sword, made it to the image of the core. Heavens of a battle and the battle together, we're running to the battle we war. We don't want to give us weapon, give us more. Jesus Christ, he that Lord. Nobody did what he did, do what he did. That's what we thought for. Wait.
What is going on, everybody? This is Doctrinn from Final Reflect Entertain. Hopefully you guys are having a good Monday morning. If not, we're about to brighten it up because we're about to start tripping, cracking jokes, and all around acting a fool. Man, we got a full lineup today. We got a full roster. Now, normally, I just come into this 10-minute segment because I swagger jack Steve Harvey from his morning radio show when I come in and I, give a testimony, try to give some motivational words and maybe a little bit of advice. I could do that today, but if y'all tuned in last week to the episode, I was totally unprepared. I had one thing set up, I did something else, and then my message was all over the place. But my boy KennP, my co-host, saved my butt because he came in and we started talking more in depth about accepting change in your life, how some people come in for a season and not everybody's meant to be there, and how whenever the Lord actually does make changes in your life, how we can embrace it or how we can deny it. And then we'll deny ourselves our blessings. We went through a lot of that. But today, I talked to my buddy, KD the Vessel, the same one that was on the last episode. And today he wanted to talk about worship. What it is, what it isn't, and whatnot. What we've allowed it to be in our life. And we're going to go in depth about that. And then later on today, during the second half, we have Verna, who's going to come in and share her music, along with her testimony on how she found Christ, how she got started in gospel music, and what her overall goal is. So instead of taking up all this time to talk, we have a whole lineup of new music for you guys today. 90% of this music is not music that we've played before, so y'all in for a treat today. If you guys are listening to this on the archived version, either on Blog Talk, YouTube, or Facebook, then feel free to catch us on Monday mornings from 9 to 11 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. And, everyone's willing to learn to talk, Doctrinn. Everybody's able to call in 646-716-7958 and press the 1 key to come live. You guys can do that today if you want. Everybody's welcome. If you're a Christian, you want to worship with us or give a testimony, cool. If you're not a Christian but you have questions or, really you just want to tune in and, see what it's all about and maybe just get a little feel, just stick your toe in the water, to see if the water of the Holy Spirit is good for you, then, hey, it all starts with dipping that big toe in there. Next thing you know, you're doing a cannonball in the pool, man. It's baby steps, man, one step at a time. So today, we're going to play a little bit of music, then we're going to jump everybody on the line because, like I said, we have a whole line of songs. We have a whole huge list. In case you guys haven't seen it on Facebook and Instagram, we have a whole huge list of co-hosts and guests coming on today. And just for the record, out of all you guys that have been tuned into us religiously, we appreciate the support. We're now on Instagram, so look up gospel.wave all together, and you'll see our specific logo. It's a little bit darker, but you'll recognize it. And, definitely hit us up. We're willing to promote you guys. Maybe we can cross-promote, or maybe, if you're an artist, we can get you on the show. You never know. But we're going to jump into a couple of songs, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be right back. Right now, we're going to play You Can Have It All. And I'm not going to tell you who it's by because they're actually on the line right now. We're going to bring them on. Let's dig in.
Lord, I come to you before the throne. I'm ready to carry up my cross, yeah. With no question, you can have my all, yeah. Watch me, use me anywhere you want. You can have it all. my own. You can have it all. Watch me, use me anywhere you want. You can have it all, have it all, have it all, yeah. You can have it all, have it all, have it all, Lord. You can have it all.
Lord, I never knew what I was missing until I started reading your holy word. And I started seeing more clearly.
Lord, I come to you before the throne. I'm ready to carry up my cross, yeah. With no blessing, you can have my own, yeah. Watch me, use me anywhere you want. You can have it all, have it all, have it all, yeah. You can have it all, have it all. You can have it all, Lord. You can have it all.
Lord, break me and make me older, and use me the way you want. Lord, make me over, so you can use
Lord, I come to you before the throne. I'm ready to carry up my cross, yeah. With no blessing, you can have my own, yeah. Watch me, use me anywhere you want. You can have it all, have it all, have it all, yeah. You can have it all, have it all, have it all, Lord. You can have it all.
Playing both sides with death, got a vendetta. You don't want war with a vet, you should know better. You ain't learned, yeah, yeah. You ain't learned, yeah, yeah. You ain't learned, yeah, yeah. You ain't learned, yeah. You ain't learned, yeah, yeah. You ain't learned, yeah, yeah. You ain't learned, yeah, you ain't learned, yeah. What's wrong with you, girl? You ain't learned yet. Puffing on that loud, try coping with your stress. Multiple choices, this is only a test. Battlefield of the mind at war with myself. Shots fired. I digress, driven by emotion, same old mistakes. Always in a rush, keep switching lanes. Move, get to swinging, bipolar phase. GPS got me going both ways. Messing with them girls, got me turning in her grave. She always used to say, throw me in them streets acting like you ain't got no home train. Details intricate, standing in the pulpit, acting like a hypocrite. I'm just saying, chicks starting every day. Lost in a matrix, quid pro quo. Favor for a favor, 2 weeks pay. Broke in 3 days. Nighttime fly, got the city rules twang. Woman in the mirror looking back so vain. Repeat the same cycle, expecting it to change. You ain't learned, yeah, keep playing. You ain't learned, yeah, yeah. You ain't learned, yeah, yeah. You ain't learned, yeah. You ain't learned yet.
Ooh, yeah. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah. Show love is a never-ending well. It will never run dry. Never run dry. Your love is a never-ending well. It will never run dry. Never run dry. Your love It's a never-ending well. It will never run dry. Oh no, never run dry. Hey.
Where do I begin? I guess where I end. You remove my excuses, won't let me pretend, and I can't hide what I found. Any pride, I'm lying it down. You exceed expectation with what you supply. Inside I found some days I'm in a desert land, in need of the rain. Most days just a wretched man, in need of some change. Found out about a precious lamb, who for me he was slain, and now I'm just a fan of no sweeter a name. And you never change despite who I am, and I'm not. Try to remember being alone, but you're so consistent I forgot. You see, I've been partial before, I've gone par for the course. You've always been, but came out of nowhere to win my heart. No dog or a horse. I've had my feelings disregarded and ripped apart in this war, but you fight to make it last, cause you don't have a heart for divorce. Lord, your love
is a never-ending well. It'll never run dry. Never run dry. Your love is a never-ending well. It'll never run dry. Never run dry. Your love is a never-ending well. It'll never run dry. Never run dry. Your love is a never-ending well. It'll never run dry. Never run dry. I can go to the well.
When it seems like I'm running on fumes, and I look to the hills and then I see you. Hey. When it love isn't love, and I need to be reminded what it does to keep me from falling apart. It's you I seek without a peace, but all of my heart. Oh my, hey, oh.
I can go to the well.
Refreshing water, they flow over me.
Healing waters is what I need. Yeah.
I can go to the well.
I can go to the well.
I can run to you. Hey, yeah, yeah.
Get to the well.
I drink so deeply from you.
You can quench my thirst, Lord, like only you can do.
When I get to the well,
I wanna drink from you, Jesus. I wanna drink from you, Lord. I can drink of everything that you say about me. 'Cause your love is a never-ending well. It will never run dry. Never run dry. Oh my, your love is a never-ending well. It will never run dry. Oh no, no, never run dry. Your love, yeah. I'm at a loss for words for your love. Your love, hey.
Everything I need is
Everything I need, I find in your love, Jesus. Everything I need, I find in your love. Your love and love for me.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are tuned into the right place just at the wrong time, man. Y'all should have tuned in 20 minutes ago, man. Everybody need to be early for this show, man. We got some of the best independent music on the planet. I don't care what country you guys are in. But yeah, if anybody wants to call in throughout, we still got plenty of time for anyone to call in. 646-716-7958. Press the 1 key. If you guys are called in already, just hit that 1 key. That'll let us know that you want to come on live with us. Somebody smacking up in the microphone. Don't think I ain't putting people on blast. I will. This ain't KennP show no more. Y'all in Doctrinn's world now. Everybody gonna be tripping because by the end of the day, everyone's wearing dangly earrings in pink. I guarantee that one. Don't make me president. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we got a full lineup today. We have several guest hosts on right now.
Wow.
We got Kimberly Hardy. We got KennP, which is my co-host. We got King David the Vessel, my homeboy. And we got Kimberly, which is our newest co-host.
Hey.
And then we have Plap out of California, who's going to come in and share some Cali stuff because, you know, I think he's the only person here on the west side. So if he talks in slang and don't nobody over here don't know what it means, don't feel bad because I don't know either. Just saying. But how's everybody doing this morning?
Awesome.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Blast.
Highly favored.
Amen to that. I tell you what, any day that we wake up, man, we highly favored already because we know the Lord got something for us to do today.
Absolutely.
It's still sitting on the microphone, though. I can still hear it.
Yeah, who's eating on the microphone, man? No eating in the booth.
Whatever it is. They're moving around.
Yeah, see, now, it done stopped now as soon as we said something.
Hey, can I give a shout out? Wait. They might be eating Church's Fried Chicken.
Ooh.
And
Kimberly Latham is listening in there, too. So, Kimberly Latham is listening in.
If they're eating Church's Fried
She's
Chicken,
out there.
okay.
Church's Fried Chicken, we got you.
Yeah.
Me and KennP was on the phone last night. We got a couple of jokes for that, but we can't say it on the show because there's really no way for us to clean it up. So catch us after the show.
No.
Call in after the show. We'll be cracking up.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Please don't do it because you have your mind. Don't pursue it. But no, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about worship. If you guys did tune in last week, we actually had King David the Vessel on, and we played his post-release single, Glory 3.0. And it is like one of those ballad. You know, you ever notice like 10-minute songs really just they have a whole bunch of luster and then it just starts lacking luster. Like, man, it just keeps dragging on and on. That ain't one of those songs. It actually keeps your feeling there. You know, it actually, you know, holds you there and lets you keep worshiping, which is today's particular subject. So I asked him to come back this week and co-host with us, and I asked him to actually pick the subject, and we're actually going to be talking about worship. So I'm going to hand the mic over to him, and he's going to get us started and talk a little bit about his opinions, feelings, and testimony about worship, what it is not, what we allowed it to be. And it's going to go so much more deeper. So if you guys do want to call in one more time, I'm going to lambaste everybody with it. 646-716-7958 and press the 1 key. You come on live with us. But King David the Vessel, the floor is yours, sir.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Pleasure to
Good morning.
on. So thanks to Doctrinn and KennP and everybody at Gospel Wave. I appreciate you guys. I just truly believe. I appreciate it. Just truly believe that for the season that we're in, you know, where we are as a people, and more importantly as a people of God, that we need to prioritize the ability to be able to tap in the thing that God is and everything that He's provided for us. And an absolute way that we do that is through worship, because if we truly, you know, pursue God and we truly desire to have His heart and to be after His mind and things of that nature and to be more like Him, then we have to understand that because of the magnitude of the God that we serve, He deserves more than just a quote-unquote Sunday worship or a service worship. You know, worship in all actuality is a lifestyle and not just something that we do, but it's something that we are, something that we are supposed to be. It's not just simply the lifting of the hands, but it's also, you know, the turning of the other cheek. It's also the holding of the tongue. Because in these things, I'm saying that God means more to me than trying to avenge myself and trying to put somebody in their place and trying to fight this battle on my own, etc. So I just think it's really important because unfortunately we've lost our way as it pertains to worshiping God. A lot of times we don't understand everything that God designed for worship to include. And so it's very important that we get back to that we get back to being able to apply worship to our everyday lives. Because, again, just like salvation, it is a lifestyle. Worship is a lifestyle. It is a part of the lifestyle that once we give our lives to Christ, that we've been called to live.
Amen.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely.
My co-host KennP is a pastor. I want to get his point on this because the way you just described it, man, I never actually looked at it like that.
Yeah. You see,
we're teaching Doctrinn a lesson on his own show.
You see, worship doesn't have to be in church. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
I mean,
nope.
See, when I get up every morning, okay, I praise God, okay, and then I get the Word, I pray, okay, and that's worshiping, okay, and that's having personal fellowship with God, okay. So, I mean, you don't have to be in church to worship. I mean, you could be in your car, you can put on some Christian radio, okay, sing along, the song, okay, and you worship, okay. Music is a good way to allow people, okay, to praise and worship, okay, and have unity together. You don't have to have a terrific voice, okay, to sing for the Lord. I mean, not all of us are gifted with a good voice, okay? Just take mine, for instance, okay? But, I'm going to sing and I'm going to praise God, okay, because He gave me the ability to do so, okay? And I'm not here to be aesthetically to an ear, while I'm praising, okay, and worshiping. Because
Amen.
It doesn't matter. God loves the sound that we make when we're in unity, church, or anywhere, and we're singing to Him. And that's it,
Amen.
And, always give thanks. Don't give thanks just because things come your way and everything's good, hunky-dory. Give thanks when things are bad.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And when you're doing that, you're worshiping too.
Amen.
So we don't. Just little things. You can sit there during the course of the day. Say you're at work, you're on your typewriter, you're getting kind of stressed. Stop for a minute and say, "Praise God." You're worshiping. It's that simple.
That's why I say never ceasing. Always praying, never stop ceasing in prayer.
You give God recognition. You're praising and you're worshiping. Amen.
Amen. Yes, I definitely feel that. I feel, in my opinion, that worship is just creating an atmosphere so that we can fill the room with God's anointing and the angels can just move on our behalf. That's how I feel about worshiping. So I definitely can relate to what you just said. Oh, gosh. I'm about to shout up already in this room.
Come on now.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, God is good. Well,
all the time, good as God.
God is good.
My thing is, I made plenty of songs. I got a couple albums out already, man, but I don't think I've ever sat down and actually wrote a full-out worship song. I've had some messages, like my most recent single, that had a good message. It was more of a dedication, but it really wasn't worship. Now, that last song that we just played when we were playing music, that was actually King David here. That was one of his songs off his new album. It was titled The Well. And I've listened to the album, man. And this week we're going to be posting about where you guys can find it on our social media, and we're going to also give you a quick review about it. So definitely be on the lookout on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. But that's my favorite song off the album, man. He's got good music, but that song, I listened to it about, I'm not even exaggerating, I listened to it like 7 to 10 times in a row. Just letting it play continually on repeat on my computer, man.
Yeah, I got to admit, I really like that song a lot. Okay?
Yeah, praise God.
I really do. It's a very blessed song. And, you got the ability, you got that deep voice, but you got a set of pipes. When you sing, I mean, it's good, man. You know, I mean, I wish I had that. You know, but I got the musical part. I can play piano. But you know, I just
how you think I feel, man?
You know,
I pulled before the show started. I pulled him in the back and I said, "Hey, who do we have on the line?" And his voice came out deeper than Isaac Hayes'. I'm like, "Dang, man." I'm a grown man. I feel like I got a squeaky voice compared to this guy. It's awesome, though. I mean, if y'all actually hear him sing, man, he's actually got an amazing falsetto. So, I mean, it's just amazing how God blesses with talent. And just because somebody just messaged me on Twitter asking about it, so whoever you are, you know, I ain't going to put you on blast unless you want me to, but thank you for tuning in. They were just asking the other songs that we played, too. The first song that we played is You Can Have It All by our own co-host here, Kimberly. The second one was Learn Yet by AsiaStar, and then the last one was The Well by King David here. So I do apologize for not announcing all that. I just didn't think that anyone was, you know, all up in it like that. But God bless, you know. Thank you for tuning in anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so
amen.
Who else has something to say about worship? Because this is very interesting to me.
Well,
I'm actually soaking all this in. I'm actually considering, depending on what people would think about actually making a worship song myself. I just got to figure out how, because I don't really write my lyrics. Like with Alba Don't Cry, man, the Lord just came to me and started. I had no idea where it was going. So I'm like, okay, well, hey.
Well, like, that's the whole point, though. You know what I mean? Like, worship, you know, opens up and gives access to an intimacy. And out of that, a sound can be born and created out of that. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate that sometimes that people say, well, you know, I want to do a worship song, I want to sing a worship song. And a lot of times people don't realize, man, in order to actually have that, you need to have a worship lifestyle. But we feel as though sometimes that we can just kind of create something without having the life behind it, and it will simply be that. And what we fail to realize a lot of times is that God isn't just accepting anything. There's a particular way that he desires for us to come to him, and we learn about that through spending time with him in worship, through spending time getting to know him, getting to know his character. Because at the end of the day, that's what God is looking at. You know, the Bible says in 1 Samuel, you know, that God doesn't see like man does. Man looks at the outward appearance. God is looking at the heart. And that's where, you know, worship starts, when we allow our hearts to become knit and intertwined with his, because we're seeking him that much. And so those things, those songs, that sound comes out of that place and just spending time with him. And sometimes we have worship songs that we may not necessarily look at as being worship songs, but they are, because one, they're songs that he's given us, and then two, they're songs that actually help people connect with God's character. Because again, worship is about him, it's not about us.
Amen. Yes.
Amen. We definitely gonna keep this subject rolling, but we're gonna jump off real quick to play a few songs. If you guys have already called in and want to come on live, 646-716-7958. Somebody hollering all up in the mic. We all hear it. Don't try to hide it. Press that one key and we'll be notified that you want to come on live, or if you just want to tune in, you know, God bless you as well. You know, no pressure. We're going to jump into a couple of songs, and we're definitely going to be right back.
I don't know why I feel so far from you, and I don't know why I feel I'm disappointed. I just don't want to make you cry. Don't cry, don't cry, please don't cry.
The diary of a sinner. Confessions of a madman, tears of a clown, but the world is so much bigger. And when you take the mask off and live unbound, and you hear the voice. The one that's crying in the wilderness, but it won't solve anything. If you go through it, putting that razor to your wrist, listen to me,
There's a reason why we're living, reason why we're breathing, reason for the seasons that we've been given, the reason God's grace never forsakes us, cause all our mistakes are forgiven because Jesus has risen. A real chance to die, real chance at life, a real chance to find someone like Christ. This a real chance to be completed and never defeated by the enemies defeated. Now it's retreating at you and me.
I don't know why I feel so far from you, and I don't know why I don't know. I just don't want to make you cry no more.
No more, Lord. Don't cry, yeah, but don't cry. I made a change back in 09 for life. I dedicated my whole life to Christ, and now I'm standing in the light that you shine. You picked me up when I was dead on the ground. You showed me it would be okay without making a sound. And every time I think about some sin and I'm breaking your heart again, it's like I just came to tear your whole world down. You would never leave or forsake me. You would never hate me. You're the reason I keep chasing, like David after your own heart. This whole world can't keep us apart. You died for me, so I live for you. It's just trifling what I did to you. My iniquities held you bound on that tree, and you still find compassion to love someone like me.
I don't know why I feel so far from you.
I love you, God.
I don't know why I
know you hear me.
Disappointed.
I love you, God.
I just don't want to make you cry no more. No more.
Hallelujah. Amen.
And I can't forget where I came from. That made me stronger. So give me your hand
bounce. No, never was, no. Never was, no. Dreaming again, dreaming again, dreaming again, no. All I did was wish upon a star for all of it. Not knowing that God made me a star.
I just wanted to live it up, 'cause I came up wishing for things. All I heard was people scream. That much harder for your dream. I know. Tell them my plan was giving up. You won't always see it tell when they blow. I lay my cards out and I'm up now. I'm up now. Just like touchdown, like touchdown. It ain't my fault I stay down. I grind custom like it's tailor-made now. Trying to live it up.
You guys have just been platified or plapified. I ain't good at making up these words, man. Nah, that was Plap, man. Peter Loves All People. That's actually one of the best songs he's written, man. I actually like that. See, we all about support independent artists, man, 'cause I mean, everybody know Lecrae, everybody know Bizzle and whatnot. Now, how Bizzle can bust out the N-word and still be Christian music, but I bleep out the word crack cocaine and suddenly I'm a secular artist cussing and stuff. I don't know. That's beyond me. I don't pay attention to you, none of y'all, man. Nevertheless, that was Plap. I actually went to the back channel because I seen somebody press 1. It just happened to be our other special celebrity guest host. This is AsiaStar. Now, if y'all don't know her, it's because y'all don't pay attention. We don't play her music 2 shows in a row, man. It's very rare for me to do that. But I figured, hey, since she's coming on, man, we got to spotlight her music, man. Yeah. So right now, we got AsiaStar on the line.
I appreciate it. Thank you. How everybody doing?
I had to do the applause thing, man, because last episode I played it and someone said, Doctrinn, your bougie show done got the applause and everything. You know, I'm going to stay bougie. What's up, Asia? How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm alive. You know, I'm good. It's Monday. Amen.
Yeah, don't nobody like Mondays because we got to get up and start doing stuff. Everybody can't wait to get to Friday.
I like Monday because I love gospel waves, so I can't say I don't like Monday.
I'm not a huge fan of Monday.
Too. I just don't like to wake up for it though. Like I love gospel wave. Ever since I started it, man, it's been a blessed shot. I just don't want to get up for it. Mm-hmm. I ain't get to bed till like 4 in the morning. But real quick, Asia, since this is your first time being on the show, why don't you give everyone a rundown real quick on who you are, what you do, and how you do it?
Well, my name is AsiaStar, of course. I'm a hip-hop artist from Washington, D.C. I don't really like to classify my music as Christian hip-hop because it's not just that, and I don't want to isolate anyone else from listening to my music because the goal is to reach back and get those people who don't believe. So if you label your music with Christian, they automatically turn a deaf ear to it because of that word. So my job is to infiltrate the music industry just like the devil did, just in the opposite.
Kimberly, why does this sound so familiar?
Because that is the reason why I wrote my genre, which is actually, I call it experimental, because I don't want to be put in a box. Like you said, I don't want to be, I don't want to be characterized as a Christian artist. I want to be able to reach the world because I do know, like you just said, that when you're labeled as a Christian artist, they automatically want to frown their face. For those people who's in the world, they're actually going to frown their face and be like, that's boring. I don't want to listen to that. So I definitely agree with you, and that really just set right home with me what you just said. I want my music to reach the world, reach everybody.
Amen.
Yes, It's huge because I just feel like we're competing as far as hip hop. I'm not sure. What kind of music do you do? Let me ask that first.
Experimental. At the end of the day, my music does send a inspiring message. So the genre, I would say that it's a mixture of gospel, R&B, jazz, etc. It's experimental.
Got it. Love that idea. Well, as far as hip hop is concerned, for me, I'm competing against the Nicki Minaj's of the world, which captivates the attention of the young people. So by the time that they get to our music, Christian music, their senses are so dulled that they don't even hear, they don't even feel. So my job is to get so creative that on first listen, you may think it's secular, but before you know it, I'll have you praising and worshiping God without you knowing it.
Amen. Yes.
Because she'll introduce you to her daddy. She know average. Tell me why I know like all the lyrics to that video. Yeah, anybody that's been paying attention to my artist page and my Instagram, man, everything's been blowing up. But that video I found of AsiaStar, man, I'm sitting there, it's like, yo, this is like one of the hardest songs I've ever heard, man. I still want to play that on this show. But I'm sitting there listening to the lyrics. I'm sitting there like, man, she just flowed that so sick, man. And so I shared it to everybody I know. I posted it on all my pages and everything. I'm sitting like, we got to get her on the show, man.
It's dope.
So if y'all ain't check
dope.
Check out AsiaStar. I am on Facebook, Instagram, all over the place, man. That video's going to get you hooked. I'm just saying.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much.
Yes.
Amen.
I sit there and be like, yeah, we could do a collaboration, but I ain't trying to make myself look dumb. I'm going to sit there and people like, Doctrinn, that's so cool, man, and then she going to come on and completely destroy my verse. I'm like, well, dang. She's going to kill me on my own song.
It's too funny.
Okay, so for everybody, including you, Asia, who hasn't had a chance to answer this question, let's start with y'all. What is worship to you guys? You know, how do you guys worship the Lord, whether it be through music or on a daily basis or whatever you really feel like sharing right about now?
Well, to me, worship is a lifestyle. Worship is how I communicate with God and how He communicates with me. Just because for me, it's so much about God, my worship, just to let Him know how great He is, how worthy He is, and I need worship as a pick-me-up. You know how some people need coffee, energy drink? I need worship.
I'm drinking energy drink right now. I feel you.
It's just a way of life. It's everything. And if, you know, people who hasn't experienced, because there's a lot of Christians who don't know the importance of worship. So I think that without the aspect of worship, I will probably be miserable.
I hear that.
Why do you think that you'll probably be miserable? Because worship kind of set the atmosphere.
Yeah, and before I knew about worship, because I didn't grow up in the church, my parents were on drugs my whole life. I didn't know that. So, and I was miserable before I found out about worship.
Yes.
So it's go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I mean, it's everything. It's all I have, because I know that when that happens, it's so much about God that His presence fills the room. And even if I'm in a situation where I'm not in a place where I'm alone, even if I worship under my breath, He'll fill my spirit, in which He's still in the room.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Man,
God
I
is
this
good.
parking lot. I was with a buddy of mine.
All the time.
He was in Walmart, and I'm sitting there like, we just minding our own business. Then these cops come over and say, hey, come here. So my first instinct is put my hand behind my back. I ain't found Christ yet. I've been in handcuffs so many times in my life, man. I was just straight up tripping. As soon as they acknowledge me, I know to put my hand behind my back. Instead of being arrested, this cop comes to me and prays over me. Now I'm saying, like, why does he want to pray over me? In fact, for the most part, why does Cop even want to talk to me? I'm minding my own business. For the first time, I'm staying out of trouble. He done prayed over me for like 5-10 minutes, man, and afterwards, I felt the Holy Ghost for the first time in my life. I tell you, he looked at me and see me being real antsy. He said, "You okay?" I'm like, "No, man. I want to do like cartwheels and jumping jacks up the parking lot." And he's sitting there like, "Go for it, man." I'm like, he was dead serious to go for it. I'm like, "No, I'm good. I ain't about to look stupid like that and get hit by a car, because I ain't trying to go to the hospital right about now." But dude, once I felt that, man, I immediately, just felt that urge to just drop to my knees and scream out his name to the heavens, man. And
Amen.
For the first time, I actually felt like I had the opportunity for true worship to the Lord, and that's when my path began to actually truly find God, learn who He is, and actually develop an intimate relationship with Him. So, I mean, everybody on the line can feel that? Everyone felt that way before?
Yeah.
Man. Because I was just straight up tripping.
When we think about worship, okay, I don't know if you guys know, but just about how many verses there are in the Bible concerning worship. But I know at least 69. Okay. And starting way back in Exodus. Okay. Worship the Lord your God, and His blessing will be on your food and water. I will take away sickness from among you. That's Exodus 23:25. I mean, and what's crazy today is a lot of Christians don't think that because, we live under grace and we don't need to sit there and read the Old Testament. Well, you know what? If we didn't have the Old Testament, we wouldn't have the New. And if you look at the very first 10 words in the Bible, the very first 10 words in the Bible is, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay? Those simple 10 words, okay, it tells you that Jesus was there at the very beginning. Okay? At the very beginning, when earth was created, He created the heavens and the earth. Amen? So, how can we sit and say the Old Testament doesn't do us any good today? I just don't understand.
There's always lessons that we learn from the Old Testament, no matter, what style of Christian you are. There's always something to be learned from every book of the Bible.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of folks, just mainly, I met this pastor in 2009, and he gave me my first Bible. Now, my first intention was just to throw it out because I wasn't worried about that. I figured, hey, I'm going to hell anyway. I might as well go out in style. But little did I know the Lord started calling me then, so I decided to just read a couple of verses. Next thing you know, it wasn't about me, keeping out of trouble and trying to live a good lifestyle. It became about Christ. And the next thing you know, against my flesh, I did the weirdest thing ever, and I started doing gospel hip-hop. Now, I do feel what you guys are saying, ladies, about, not trying to be kept in a box. I just like to pretend there ain't no box. That's how I look at it. So you ain't got to think outside the box if there ain't a box. We ain't limited. If God's not limited, neither are we with our worship and our praise and our testimonies.
Amen.
All right, I was going to see if someone said amen to that. Yeah. All right.
That's good, bro. No, that's good. That's good, man. It's true.
He gave me the first Bible. It was just like a pocket Bible, so I always kept it in my back pocket. Just like a quick skim of the New Testament. And just getting through the 4 Gospels, man, it became more about Christ and whatnot. And so I really changed and dramatically changed the lifestyle from then till now. If I'd have looked back on me back then, I wouldn't even know who I am. But I wouldn't even know who I was, rather. I'm sorry. But I think when it comes down to it, and the best way is to put it like everyone's been putting it, worship is a lifestyle. And with worship being a lifestyle, we have to figure out how to, and I'm saying it this way, for lack of a better term, how to add it into our style that we already have for a lifestyle. Because as we bring more worship and start walking in that path, we start walking off the path that we're already on. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask Plap because he's so quiet.
Hey.
What I think about worship?
You weren't paying attention to the show, were you?
No, I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention.
He's trying to get his bacon and sausage in.
No, Jesus is my coffee. But anyways, no, what I think about worship is, like you guys were saying, like it's a lifestyle. But you know, like I heard Lecrae say this one time. He said, it's more than a lifestyle. It's just it's like everything we do, whatever we eat, whatever we drink, we worship God with our lives. You know what I mean? So we glorifying God with our lives, and our bodies is a living sacrifice. You know what I mean? Our bodies is a living sacrifice. So everything that we eat, everything that we do, we glorify God with our bodies. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's what I feel. That's what I feel worship is. Worship is, you got to worship in truth and in spirit. I mean, so in your lifestyle that we're living, it has to be true. But other than that, of being true, it also has to be glorifying to the Lord. You know what I mean? Like being true. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And that's real right there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I feel. That's what I feel worship is. Like if you know, like, you glorify God with our bodies. Like it can be on stage, off stage. You know what I mean? At home, in private. You know what I mean? That's what true is worshiping God when nobody's looking.
Yep. Amen. Just get in your car, and sometimes it's just all about just getting in your car and just saying, God, thank you. You know, just closing your eyes and just meditating on God, and just sometimes just worshiping can just be as simple as thank you, God. And simple words, you know, and getting on your knees at home and actually building that personal relationship with God and just praise Him, because God wants us to get in that position where we just thank Him, not because things are going good or, you know, sometimes people just only praise Him when they want something. Sometimes He wants you to just praise Him and thank Him just every day of your life, no matter what situation that you're in. Just thank Him, you know. And it feels so good when you're going through something and you can just still say, thank you, God. That's right. That really matters, when you can go through something and still be able to just say, thank you, God. I'm not sure. I don't, you know, just give me understanding. I'm not sure what your plan is for my life, but I just want to still thank you.
Yeah. Well, we ladies and gentlemen, this is still Gospel Wave. We got plenty of time. If you guys have already called in, press that 1 key. If not, if you guys are tuned in from the live link that we provided through social media, just dial 646-716-7958. Press the 1 key. We'll get notified that you want to come on live, and you can share your testimony on how you worship, the last time you worshiped, and what got you to worshiping after you found Christ. Like, what was the first time? That's a question for everybody. What's the first time you actually worshiped Christ and just sat there and just, you know, worshiped Him intimately, just you and Him? And while everybody contemplate that, we're going to take a small break. We actually have a request, oddly enough, because people don't normally request shows or songs on my show, but whatever. Somebody wants to hear the song Funeral. I released that in 2015. We got Kid Got It on the first verse. I'm on the second, and then we had Brother Minister, while he was under my label. He's on the third. We're going to check that out, and then we're going to get to the brand new segment that everyone's been waiting for, because we've been trying to, like, promote it all week. But a brand new segment of Real Talk for Real People by Rachel Loomis. Don't miss out, because everybody used to love these the little segments that we had for her. What was it? KennP, what was the last episode that we aired her segment on? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I want to say it was December last year.
That's what I was thinking, too. Because then she took a hiatus, we done took a hiatus, then we came back. Now we're back in the
Amen.
Yeah,
God
we're
has
jump
a reason and a purpose for everything, man. Always.
Yeah, for real. But every time we take a break, we come back stronger. So, hey,
Amen.
As long as it's within the Lord's will and we giving God praise, it's okay with me.
Amen.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need this is the official doctor. Stop drinking energy drinks because now I'm just too hyper. I only had like 1.5. This is Funeral, and we'll be right back, y'all.
They say when you're gone, so gone and live your life. Everything's a golden night, there ain't no red light. If you like it, gon' try it, gotta do it right. Thought I told you once before, I ain't bout that life. That feeling you feeling is never fulfilling, and friends you around will never be found when you drop in the ceiling. Now how you was getting is gone. Tell me I'm wrong, I prove that I'm right, but things in my past that wants to relapse and love to haunt me at night. Cause they want me back in that old life, but all the shade won't block his light.
Nobody even noticed that I changed. Soon as I mention the name of Jesus, they all becoming strange. I'm changing my lifestyle, next thing you know, they're just walking away. But that is okay, cause I got Jesus when I'm walking through this maze. There's gotta be a way to deliver the message of the gospel to these people, cause they just don't know. Anytime I mention the gospel, they won't receive it, cause it's set in the ways and they won't let it go. They don't stand a fighting chance. Jesus is our life advance. He's saving souls and making them clean. He can do it for you too, that's the snap. To this, you been my homie and been there before me, but say what I believe is baloney, cause I recite the script. If I had to do it all over again, I tell you what would I twice for this, I'ma ride to death, but you won't be at my funeral, cause I rock for a purpose that calls me to mortify the flesh.
Hey everyone, this is Rachel Loomis, your radio host for Real Talk for Real People on Gospel Wave. I am so excited to be back. I know it's been a while, but I am so excited and rejuvenated and refreshed, and God has been doing some great and mighty things in my life. You know, sometimes we just need to take a break and take a step back and let God replenish us from some things that you're going through, and just let Him renew your mind and renew your spirit and your joy, and so that it prepares you for whatever He has for you in the next season. It's important to rest and rejuvenate and, take time out in life to meditate on God's Word and pray for God to prepare you for the things that He has in store for you to do and for the things that He has in store for your life. So I want to kick things off by saying thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate your support and your prayers. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. So I want to start off this week by reflecting upon when life doesn't go as planned. That's really what the Lord dropped on my heart. I recently went through an experience that as I was sitting in the airport, I said, God, what do you want me to start off the segment with this week and encourage others with? And this is what came to my mind as when life doesn't go as planned. So I just want to share an experience that happened to me, and I believe that it will encourage you, and I'm sure that you'll find that you can relate in somehow, and it can occur in any incident in your life that when you plan for something and it doesn't go as planned, how are you going to handle it? And so what happened to me is I was vacationing in Florida, and, I was having a great time. I was listening to praise and worship. I was just thanking God for the time to be away and just enjoying the beach, enjoying the sun, and spending time with my close friends, and just really have an amazing time and weather and experiencing new areas and just having the time of my life. And then it was time to go, and I didn't want to leave, but I headed back to the airport and checked in and had plenty of time to get on my flight. So I went to the gate only to discover that my flight was delayed. And so I was starving, and I went to grab some food. And however, within that time, the airline had switched gates, and they started boarding people early. So when I returned to the original gate, I only found to discover that they had, then informed me that they had paged me overhead, but there was no way for me to hear because I was outside the gate area and getting some food, and that they had proceeded to move to another gate and start boarding, and the plane left. So I was pretty much stranded in Orlando, and, money was getting short because I had splurged during my vacation. I was planning on going home. So I couldn't get a hold of my friends, and they were 2 hours away, and it was getting late. And, I was kind of panicking. I was kind of like, God, are you serious right now? This is really happening to me. All kinds of things were going through my mind, like I cannot believe I'm stranded. I can't believe this is happening right now. This has never happened before. God, like, how can you allow this to happen? I was having such a great time, and I got to get back to work tomorrow, and I was just feeling so stressed and overwhelmed. So I just said, all right, I got to pull myself together. I got to think of a plan. God, please help me. And it was just as simple as me just saying, God, help me. And then things started working out, even though it seemed like all heck was breaking loose. There was still a hand upon me telling me it's going to be okay. And I knew it was God telling me, I'm with you. You're going to be all right. Everything's going to work out. So, I was able to get into a hotel that was right on the airport, and it was beautiful. And the next day I was able to get a rental car and get to where I needed to go. So, but through that, there was anxiety, all these feelings of these thoughts of, you were praising God, and is this what God's going to do to you? He's going to bring all this, chaos into your life, and this is what it's like to be a Christian. And, it was Satan bringing all these thoughts of, that God was doing this to me. And I was talking to my mom, and I was like, Mom, I feel all these thoughts are coming through my mind. And she's like, that's the enemy, because you've been praising God, and he does not want you to be praising and seeking the Lord during this time on your vacation, and you set this time apart to rejuvenate and refresh and seek the Lord, and Satan just came in and tried to crush everything that you just enjoyed. And that's exactly what Satan does. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy everything that the Lord is trying to bless you with. And then in our humanly thinking mind, we think, oh, God is doing this bad that's coming upon my life. But that's so far from the truth. That's twisted, because Satan is the one that comes to steal everything that God is trying to bless you with. God is wanting to bless you with joy and with love and with peace and of a sound mind. He's wanting to give you the desires of your heart. And he simply says, seek me and you will find me, and I will give you the desires of your heart. And we tend to have doubt that comes into our minds, and it can, if we ponder upon that doubt, it can cancel out what the Lord is trying to do in our life. It can choke it and cause it to be null and void. So I wanted to share this because I know that a lot of people, we make plans for our life and it doesn't go as we want. It could be a marriage that failed, and you plan to be married forever and ever. It could be a relationship that, man, they're the one, and I just know that I'm going to marry them, and then something happens where you find out a secret, or they were cheating, or they were lying, and then you got to deal with the brokenness of what you thought to be your reality or your forever simply is not going to happen. And dealing with that it can be so heartbreaking. And so what do we do when life doesn't go as planned? Well, the majority of the time in our human thinking, we want to remain negative. We lash out, we're angry, we're mad, we want to blame, and sometimes we blame God for the things that we go through that hurt us. But I'm here to encourage you today that God is faithful. He loves you so much. And when things don't go as planned, He still has a plan for your life. But in Psalms 37:5, it says, commit your future to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will act on your behalf. So that means when you don't understand, you can trust God, and He still has got your back. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, no trial has overtaken you that it is not faced by others. So that means whatever you're facing, somebody else has faced it also. You're not alone. And it continues on and says, and God is faithful, and He will not let you be tried beyond what you are able to bear. But with the trial will also provide a way so that you may be able to endure it. My friend, God loves you so much. He is faithful, and when things don't go as planned, trust God to be your provider and to work all things out for your good. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Real Talk for Real People with your radio host, Rachel Loomis. Thank you so much. Have a blessed week, and we love you.
Yep, it's official. We got a bougie show. I just want everybody out there to understand our bouginess.
That was a really good one. I like that one. That was good.
I'm going to give it a bad reputation, man. But now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Gospel Wave. We are getting ready to bring on our special guest. Her name is Verna. If you guys tuned in and you guys actually have a question for her during the interview, you can definitely press that one key and we'll bring you on the back channel. so we can introduce you properly, which is something I don't normally do. Then, you know, the CEOs of this network is going to get on me, and then I can F. But if you're not called in, you guys are just tuned in, should you have a question for us as host or our guest, or, you know, just want to put out a praise report, 646-716-7958. Press the 1 key. You'll be on live. But we have our special guest on right now. How are you doing, Verna?
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing? Thank you for having me.
Hey. She's awesome. She's awesome.
No, it's 2 hours.
I wanted to say hi. See, I found out about your music on Facebook. A couple of people actually sent me a video. I'm like, why are they sending me more videos? I didn't know who it was. I didn't even know we was friends on Facebook, to be honest, because a lot of people friend me, then I friend a lot of people. It's just all networking. I'm like, man. So I'm looking at your video, man, and I'm sitting there, you know, like, all right, this is what's up. And so my boy KennP and Kim Hardy here, they came to me and said, you know what, you should have her on a radio show.
Sure enough.
So literally like an hour and a half later, I reached out to you.
Thank the Lord.
Thank y'all so much.
No problem. I love that song. All for Your Glory is awesome. I love it.
Yes.
Had me dancing around the house and singing with you, girl. Sure enough.
All for Your Glory. Got the song here too.
I'm ready to hear it.
Let's jump into it. Exactly how long have you been doing gospel music, and what thrived you to actually start doing gospel music as opposed to anything else?
Well, I actually been singing since the age of 3, and I grew up in a church. And for me, I always loved singing. But I kind of started out in secular music at first. When I got grown and out of my parents' house, I started doing secular music and writing different songs. And, you know, I experienced so many different things. I'm actually in the military, and so I experienced so many things. And just knowing that you have a calling on your life, you know, I kept trying to run from my calling. And then I eventually had to kind of just break down. God had me in a place where I couldn't run anymore. And so I had no choice but to kind of turn back to Him, and that's when I began to start pursuing my dream, you know. And then it wasn't until last year when I actually really started diving deep in. I came across a record label called One Nation Under God Records, and I started working with them doing artist development. And then from there, I just started, you know, dropping and releasing songs. So I really, truly give God the glory for even the networking that He, you know, the doors that He opened for me.
Under God Records. Is that the same one with Byron Irby? Or am I thinking, am I confusing labels?
No, that's the same one.
I talked to that dude before, man. He pretty cool.
Yes, he's good people.
I done lost count. The counts I got, man. I lost count at the 16, but he's on one of them. I know that much. My the president of my label, New Rev, he's actually cool with them. We're supposed to actually be having a meeting with him in the next couple of months. I don't know exactly how things are going to work out, but shout out, man. If you're tuned in, that's what's up.
Yeah, he's listening.
Oh, he's listening? Hey, man, call in. Say what's up to your homegirl here. You know, show the love and support, man. We got to do that for each other.
Yes, we do.
Amen.
I mean, I try to. I don't do it because every time somebody tells me we got a show, you know, hey, I'm about to be on this radio show. Why didn't you tell me last week when you scheduled it? You're telling me right now when you're about to do it, and I'm busy.
Yep.
So, I mean, it just go to show you schedules is weird.
Mhm.
But no, so tell us about your upcoming album, your project that you're getting ready to release here.
Yeah, so I have my EP called All for Your Glory, scheduled to be released on July 7th. And it's a mixture of different testimonies and different things. It's actually really things that I was actually going through. I was in a really kind of dark place, and it was like I would just sit down and like the songs would just kind of come to me based off of what I was going through at the time. And I know one of the songs called Deliver Me from People. I found myself where I had an identity crisis. I didn't know who I was anymore. And I was really kind of living for other people, worried about their opinions of me, worrying about what they think, you know, kind of reacting to how they acted towards me, trying to people please. And in the process, I kind of lost sight of who I was. And so I really had to fall on my face before God and say, Lord, you know, I've lived this way for so long, trying to please everybody, trying to live my life according to how people feel like I should live it, and I kind of lost sight of who I am. And I need you to bring me back so I can really, truly just be me and be real and be honest, not trying to be fake and phony and be somebody that I'm not, or trying to be somebody else wants me to be. And so that's how that song came about. And then I have another song on there called You Love Me. And You Love Me is just basically like a testimony, just kind of really diving in on how find yourself, backsliding, doing stuff you don't have no business doing. And you feel the conviction, but you're overriding that conviction. And despite all the things that you've done in your life, the only person that's really truly there that still loves you is God. So that song really touched my heart, because it's like, no matter what I've done to you, no matter how many times I turn my back on you, no matter how many times that I've done things wrong that I know better, you still love me. People turn their back, but you still love me. So that song really, really touches my heart, like, truly. And then All for Your Glory, I heard the beat, and it's like the song, the lyrics just came to me. It's like, so long I've done things in myself, and so long I've done things for other people. It's like now I'm in a place where, my sole aim is to please God. So everything that I do is not for people, it's for His glory. So that's how I came about with that song.
Well, you know what? That seems to be the song that everybody seems to really love, and that's how I found your music.
Yeah.
So who all on the line wants to hear that song right now?
I do.
Amen. Absolutely.
Hey, man, let's give God the glory and let's jump into it. All for your glory, right? It's all for His glory.
Amen.
All we can do. Let's check it out. I hope you guys are blessed by this, because everybody I know seems to really love this song. It was on everybody's list. I'm sitting like, what are you talking about? It's just a song by an artist. What is you talking about? I listened to it, then I got hooked too. So, hey, I can't really say nothing. All for your glory.
me with all these gifts, and it's so many that I cannot list. I'm so blessed that you even decided to choose me. There's no other way that I would want it to be. I want to thank you for entrusting me with the tools of life so I can walk around and live right. So many people are depending on me and watching my every move because they're trying to see if I'm gonna fold under pressure when the enemy comes. Am I gonna stand my ground or take off and run? You have a purpose for my life, I can't deny the fact. All the tools you giving me, I'm gonna use to the max. There's still so many things that I have to do, but I'm only taking my instructions from you. Lord, I thank you for the gift that you have given me, and I just wanna say that it's all for your glory. Glory, everything I do is for your glory. It's all for your glory. Everything I do is for your glory. It's all for your glory. Everything I do is for your glory.
That's weird though. I mean, that song right there kind of reminds me of like the style of Ashanti, like back in the day.
Beautiful.
Before she, what was that one album she came out with? It's not new. I think it came out in like in between 06 and 09.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it, but yes, I agree with you. I have to agree with that.
That's a good style though. I mean, shoot.
Awesome. That's a really good song.
We had somebody else.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Can't remember who it is, but they sounded just like Ja Rule. I'm saying like, man. So you got to have like a 90s flavor, man, because if you don't, then it just sound like, hey, you know what, bump it. Doctrine's going to say it sound like that stupid mumble rap. How many is that? Makuta Matata? Ain't nobody know what you saying. You probably ain't even saying that. It takes talent to actually write lyrics. Okay, ain't none of this stuff written down. We got to come up with it off the top of our heads and write it down. Man. But no, with that, what kind of responses have you got for that song, though, Renee?
I'm gonna share one. So I'm on this website called Number One Music, and it was a guy. He reached out to me like twice, and he was like, you know, I'm not particularly fond of your genre of music, but I heard this song, and I was just like, wow, like I really like this song, and I was like, thank you. And he reached out to me again. He was like, I listen to your song all the time. He's like, you know, I'm going through some things, and your song really, truly gets me through my day. And to me, that was a blessing. It's like, wow, like, you know, you're used to people that, you know, Christian listening to your music, but when you hear a sinner man tell you, hey, I don't even listen to Christian music, but your song is getting me through my day, then I feel like I've accomplished what God set forth for me to do. So that's an honor.
You're actually touching the lives of people who don't particularly listen to Christian music or not particularly Christian at the time. So you're definitely planting seeds.
Yes.
All right, so doing music, and everybody jump in here with questions, because I'm just going to keep going if nobody wants to ask nothing. I got a million. I've been doing this for years. What is your overall goal doing gospel music? Like, what is your personal mission with it?
My personal mission is truly to reach the people. God anointed me to do His work. And for me, you know, I want to definitely be pleasing unto God, but also my ultimate goal is to win unto Christ. Go out and minister in song, and so that people that don't know who He is can actually see God through me or hear Him through my music. That's ultimately my goal.
Everybody else feel like, y'all hear that echo too, right? I'm not going crazy?
Not bad. Not really bad.
Somebody's listening to the show on the computer while we laugh. I'm sitting there like, man, it's like a football anthem or something.
I don't know what you're talking about. I heard it, but it doesn't sound like you're on a computer.
No.
I will. No worries. Okay, so what is, with this album coming up, what is your ideal, like out of all the songs coming out, what is your ideal song? Like what is your favorite one that you believe is really going to touch a lot of people, the one that's really going to be the most powerful of the album?
My favorite is Deliver Me From People. The reason why is because a lot of people have that issue. They don't want to really kind of talk about it until they somebody else actually open up about it. And so many people I've come into contact with is like, you know what, I've been doing that for so long. You know, many people go through identity crisis. They try to be somebody they're not. They put in this front like got everything going together, and they go home, it's like breaking down in the process. You know, for me, I suffered from depression, especially in the military, deploying to different various places. I've seen a lot of things. And so I've gotten so deep down in depression sometimes where it was to the point where I wanted to take my own life. And so for me, when you get to that point, it's like you got to really do some self-evaluation and say, okay, well, what's really going on? What's really going on in my head? What's going on around me? What am I not doing? Why am I feeling like this? And so for me, it's like you're so far trying to please all these people and you're not making them happy, but in the process you're not making them happy, which is not making you happy. But what about how you feel, who you are as a person? You're pleasing all these other people, but you know what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And that's me. It's really one of those things that I think is really going to touch people and kind of just get them free from being in bondage of people and their opinions and their thoughts. Instead of just really
like killing them for damaging thoughts and stuff. Yes.
Right.
Been there, yes, understand that.
Now, KennP and Kim Hardy is the one that introduced me to your music. Did y'all just find her on Facebook too? Y'all just seen her music video?
Well, yeah,
yes.
I saw her on Facebook, and I was like, wow, she got a great voice. Okay, and she would just be good for the show, you know. Bring her on, you know, talk to her, you know, and let her get her music some airplay. I mean, it's like I want to say to all the artists here on the panel that you're all very blessed, and
yes,
I would, because I do 7 shows a week, well, actually 6 shows a week. And I want to play your music on my shows, okay, for the praise and worship shows, Pastor's Corner show, okay, even my church show for praise and worship. If it's okay with you all, I would be honored and blessed to be able to do so.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
That sounds dope.
Of course, my brother.
Hey, some random person just messaged me through Instagram. 2 things. One, Renee, the question for you is what's your favorite scripture, which is actually one thing I was going to ask. And the second thing is apparently I need to speak more grammatically correct. Dog, I ain't finna change nothing I'm saying over here. Y'all can just tune out right now. I ain't saying. But all right, what be your favorite scripture? See, now I'm doing it on purpose. I ain't finna
my favorite scripture is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And the reason why that is because I've always started projects and not followed through with them because I got defeated. So for me, it stuck with me like, okay, if God has given me the power and authority, then I can do all things through Him because He's the one who gives me strength.
Amen.
Amen. You know, as an artist, I want to ask you something because I've been through so much actually trying to create music, and I'm going through so much now working on my next album, which is supposed to debut at the end of the year. It'll be my 3rd actual album, but my first regular album. So I started with a mixtape and a mini album. What kind of struggles have you been through trying to make your music? Like during the process, beginning, and what is like the worst struggle that you've been through, but the Lord seen you through, and then how did He see you through it?
The struggles that I had was sometimes you sit down and you got this thought in your mind, okay, I want to write this song, but no words are coming to you. And so for me, my greatest song or my greatest lyrics came from actually in tribulation. So it would be like
your line is starting to break up a little bit.
hold on. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah. I don't know who got that echo in the background though.
Yeah. I still hear the echo too.
What are you hearing?
Echo.
Literally everybody talking, we can hear the echo. Somebody's listening to the show live in the same room with somebody else being live on the show.
I don't hear.
I got producers here, so I can still hear it.
I can hear it as well.
Oh, well. Go ahead, Renee. We're listening. Floor's yours.
Oh, yes, sir. So for me, it was basically like I would find myself trying to put pen to paper and nothing would come to my mind. And then I find myself when I was actually going through different trials and tribulations where like the lyrics would just kind of flow. And sometimes I would find myself even crying through a song because that's how much it touched me. Like my real emotions just going to paper. And my biggest struggles I was downrange. I just deployed in 2014, 2015, and I went to Afghanistan. And being there for a year, that was the first time I was ever away from my family for that long period of time. And so just being out there, I was homesick. I was going through a lot of different things. There was so much going on that I was physically seeing and physically feeling. And I had a really rough time, a really, really rough time out there, and I found myself kind of depressed, constantly depressed. And what kind of got me through it made it like a fire out there. And I would sing, different Sundays. I would sing different songs, and that kind of brought me through. It was a struggle, just crying daily, just not wanting to be there, not wanting to be in that environment, not wanting to go through what I was going through, and God just kind of pulled me through it all.
That's all this thing. I mean, I've been hit before, man. Like spiritually, as soon as I'm trying to write a song and come to pass, like back when I first started my first album, I sat there and I wanted to make a song about not resorting to alcoholism anymore. I said, I can make it. It can sound good, but I don't feel right singing it because while I wrote the album, I had a 40 in my hand. I couldn't be fake about it, so I was still going through the struggle. But to be sincere about it and actually go to the Lord, man, to actually rely on Christ to get you through the struggle, especially during the process of the album, I believe that sentiment, the sentiment from that actually becomes apparent in the album as you're recording it and putting it together. I'm hoping everybody understood that because I did.
Yes.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh, bro.
I have a question for you. This is AsiaStar. So with that, I'm sorry, and it's actually for Doctrinn what he just said about the writing the song with the 40 in your hand. Does that make you feel less qualified when you record? And this, I guess, is for everybody. We all have struggles, and only we know what they are for the most part. But when you're going through those very struggles that you're praying about, does that make you feel less qualified to talk about the very things that you're struggling with in a sense of being free?
I would say it didn't make me feel less qualified, but it made me feel less real about trying to stop somebody else from going through the issue. Because the biggest thing to me is like conviction really sucks. Let's just put it like that. When you're sitting there telling everybody else, you got to get right with the Lord, you got to stop the alcoholism and stop resorting to drinking and everything, while you have a big old bottle in your hand, you're sitting there just being a hypocrite. I can't it's not in my good conscience to actually sing about it and then do it myself,
Well, it's like because you're preaching to the choir, basically.
Yeah.
But one thing though is that you were fighting through that struggle. Like, for example, when there's times when I'm writing the song and I'm like, you can say guilty or that or whatever. God is just trying to use you as an instrumental, as a vessel, and He's gonna get you through that. You know what I mean? I know there's gonna be times where you're gonna feel like that or whatever, but like, for example, when I wrote the song "Think of the View," I was going through depression as well, and I felt like I had a lot of fear in my life. But I was fighting the fear, but also I was letting people know that the only way you can fight that giant is with Christ. You know what I mean?
Amen.
And that's why if I was like, you know what, I'm not going to talk about fear because I have a lot of fear in my life. You know what I mean? But the reason why I was able to do it was because I know that with Christ, I'm able to. Of course, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But it says in the Bible, don't be afraid, for I'm with you. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like that. Like your fear, it could be a bottle or whatever. It can symbolize that. So you're fighting through that process. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I'm drinking because I want to drink and I'm just, you know what I mean? But you're fighting through that process. You're striving through perfection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know people who actually stop. You know, God had called us to do His will. So when He does that, and He see us as who we are, not as who we currently are in the sin, sometimes you still have to fight through and do what He calls you to do, even though you are struggling with certain things. And it's not about being a hypocrite, because I think we all are hypocrites in some form or fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely want to say that we all go through things. We all have challenges that we face on a daily basis. I think that we build a relationship with God, we'll start becoming, it'll start the things that we're doing, like drinking or cursing, smoking, a conviction will come up upon our heart. Like once we start building a relationship with God, you will automatically stop those things because you'll begin to feel convicted. You know, like I feel convicted on certain things. And then, don't get me wrong, everybody have their own set of convictions. Like if I was to listen to a song where it's a lot of cursing, for some reason I have to turn it. Like my spirit man says no. If I was to hang around a crowd where they're, drinking and going out to clubs or anything like that, I will personally feel convicted, and I won't be able to hang around that crowd. A lot of people just feel convicted about different things, like when it comes down to my relationships and things that I probably know I shouldn't be doing, but it's like you build a certain relationship with God, and you know that He's the only one that can judge me. So once when you dabble into things that's not godly like, you'll feel convicted. And if you don't, if you don't feel convicted, to me, that's just not something that you have to worry about per se. I don't want to, guide anyone wrong as far as doing wrong things. But to me, it's all about conviction. And if you don't feel convicted when you do certain things, I mean, to me, that's not your struggle. You're okay. It's not like you're going to go to hell.
Right. I want to caveat on that. I agree with you to a certain extent, but I also feel like people do get convicted, but a lot of times some people override it, and they'll override that conviction because they're not necessarily ready to actually change, turn from it. So people can get convicted, but it's like when you're so deep and override it because you're not ready to actually stop what you're doing. So if you're an alcoholic and you like what you're doing, even though you know better, you may not be ready to do it. So in your mind, you're telling yourself, "Oh, well, I'm good," but really, that voice inside your head is telling you, like, "Oh, you're not supposed to be doing that." But because you're not ready to do it, you kind of be like, "Oh, whatever,"
Yeah, once you actually build that relationship with God, you're going to feel convicted, and there's no way of ignoring it. If you're not to the point where you're doing something and something is telling you no, and you're just kind of overriding it, ignoring it, that means your relationship with God is really not that strong. And to build a relationship with God, you got to stay prayed up. Like I said, we have challenges on a daily that just cause us to sin, cause us to make bad decisions. We just got to stay prayed up. And once we build that relationship with God, there's no way in the world you can ignore what He's saying when He say no, in my opinion.
I hear you on that.
I agree. And I feel like sometimes He will actually cause certain things to happen in your life to where you have no choice but to submit to Him.
Yes.
Because you have so many people that are called by God, but they're running like I was running, and then you'll hit this brick wall, and it's like you don't have nowhere else to turn. You don't have nobody else to turn to but God, or to put your trust in God, because every door, every avenue that's done and went to in the past, all those things are being closed now. And sometimes people think, oh, the devil this, the devil that. No, it's not the devil. It's God actually closing those doors because He's done all these little things.
He's trying to get your attention.
But you're running. So now He's going to put things in your path to force you. Like, you're going to submit to me. You're going, because I called you for a purpose. I kept you on earth because you have purpose. I have a purpose for you. Your life, your testimonies are going to bring so many people out. Sometimes we think that we go through things for ourselves, but really we're going through things that we go through as testimonies to help other people.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to come in contact with somebody that's either going through the stuff that we've been through or about to go through those things. And, God uses our testimonies to pull them through.
So I'm back.
Yeah.
I wanted to add to that. I wanted to say that's why accountability is always important. You know what I mean? Accountability and having an armor barrier most of the time. Like, for example, like when I used to drink almost every day. I used to smoke a pack of cigarettes every day, and every time I go to do events, they invite me to go to a bar. They know that I do Christian music, but they invite me to go to bars, and they invite me to go to, to these type of events. And they know that, like I said, they know that I'm a Christian. But there was a time in my life when I would go by myself, because, I know that God is with me. I know that I'm strong in the area. I haven't drank in a long time and all of that stuff, but I know that I'm strong in that area. But I always like to bring an armor barrier, you can say an accountable with me, just in case, because you never know when the enemy's trickery, the enemy, you know what I mean? And then you always got to be prepared and prayed up and all of that stuff. But, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to say it's accountability, having an accountable and ironing, sharpening iron, as the word says. It just keeps you strong, you know what I mean? So just implement and all of that.
Iron sharpens iron, friends sharpen friends. Just don't sharpen your friends with iron, because then you go to jail. With that being said, we got to be delivered from people. We got to be delivered from people, which is actually this next song that we're going to play by our special guest here. We still got a few minutes, so if anybody else wants to call in and listen live, we are still live in effect, 646-716-7958. We're going to jump into this song, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be right back with another wave of the gospel. Let's dig it.
Better.
Alrighty. Amen. Hello, everyone. Shalom. This is KennP Pastor here. I'm going to do my Daily Bread segment. And I'm going to start it out, okay, with a verse. From James chapter 5, verse 16. Confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous man is powerful and effective. Okay, so let's think about that. So to confess is to do two things with our sin. To recognize the sin for what it is in God's eyes, and two, to get rid of our secrets and be honest with another. All right? So Christian, according to James' language, is powerful. He mentions that this confession doesn't just bring forgiveness, it also brings healing. So my prayer is, you say, Holy Father, I have sinned. I now confess my own personal sin, and whatever it may be. And just simply say, I ask for your forgiveness and for your Spirit to strengthen me in overcoming temptation. I want to live for you and not let my sin, any sin, entangle me and draw me away from you. Through Jesus, our precious Lord, we pray. Amen. Well, thank you for letting me put that out there. And I hope that you find a blessing within the message. We're going to play Reload by AsiaStar. Amen?
Yeah. People try to control you. Don't let them do it. Raised in religion with the self-righteous, so-called Christians, opposite of love, they passing judgment. The same dungeon, we sin differently. You ain't no better. Brainwashed, lacking vision, occult behavior to be accepted. Gotta look like her, like me, like this, walk like them. Egotistical, power tripping, self-hate is a common practice. Discontent, biggest critic is me. Be an example, keep your pen. Used to think I had screws loose and marbles missing in disbelief. Agree. Looking back, I came a long way through the word of God. Faith came, grace showed up, and everything changed for day. Past, present, and future sins have all been forgiven. I'm breaking free of that mental prison, shaped in this image of motif. It ain't over. Got a revelation, fresh start. The genesis of right believing, relationship, receive it. Christ kids, chosen generation, don't underestimate us. Once forgotten, we charged up, strong and correct.
Reload.
Making God famous, I'm starstruck. Need wisdom and insight. Got 2 feet, walk upright. 2 wheels, no dirt bike. Gold teeth, live a blessed life. All faith, no luck. Martinelli's, no double cup. 2-seater when I roll up. Attracted to this lifestyle. Reinvented, raised eyebrows. Doing me till I black out. When I'm in my zone, I max out. There's do straight, spitting game. Real talk, what some say. Too able, no cane. Mirror, she so ain't see him saying, let me reload. Representing for my God and my people. No, I ain't perfect, I'm only human. Trying to reach souls, no ego. Still above average. Instagram, hashtag, have no idea what I struggle with. Almost died in the driver's seat of that station wagon. Sad tragedy, you don't know what I'm up against. Warfare, prepare for battle. Personal opinions don't matter. Overlapping my past. Switching lanes, no crash. Blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings. Don't deserve it, I'm still asking.
Reload. Reload.
Yes. Reload. I like that.
Wow. That was awesome.
Love it. I love it.
I think the problem with that song is I can see myself doing a music video for it, though. That's the weird thing. Ain't even my song, man. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we got about 6 minutes left of the show. You know, first and foremost, we got to definitely show some love to all you guys that tuned in today. You know, we've been really working hard to get our audience back up. We were like majorly huge with an audience before we took our hiatus, and now we're trying to get everyone to jump back in the swing of things. So, you know, if we did, you know, hit everything right on the ball for you, then, you know, praise God. If we didn't, well, hey, I don't even know what to tell you. That's KennP. He the pastor. He's a doctorate.
That was good.
KennP is the pastor and the doctor, the psychologist. No, he got all them degrees. I'm just a black guy. So we'll keep it right there.
But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Okay, gotta do that. We gotta do this. We gotta do the almost, you know, before the end of the show. But with this one, we're gonna shout out to two people: IHOP and Kentucky and Church's Fried Chicken. Yeah.
Church's Fried Chicken.
See, you have the Church's Fried Chicken in the afternoon, and then late night you go to IHOP. There you go.
I'm hungry.
You know what, man? Churches versus KFC, man. That's gonna be the question for next show. But no, we down to the limit though. So I just wanted to ask our special guest Verna if she had any last words or words of encouragement, and if anybody does want to get a hold of you for a collaboration or check out more of your work on social media, or if they want to book you for a show or anything, how can people get a hold of you?
Yes, so you can find me on Facebook.com/VernaMusic23. I'm also on Instagram at VernaMusic23, and I'm also on Twitter at VernaMusic23. And if you want to just hit me up on email, you can email me at VernaMusic23@gmail.com. And first and foremost, I would like to give honor to God, who's the head of my life. I would like to thank you, Doctrinn, for allowing me to be on the show. I would like to thank all the guest hosts. I actually did follow some of y'all on Facebook a little while ago, so I would definitely love to keep in touch with you all. And just lastly, I would just like to thank all my supporters, my fans, and, you know, if anybody's struggling with anything or whatever, I just pray that my music will be an inspiration to you all and that you would truly see God through me and through his works in me. And I give glory.
I will stay in touch with you, girl, for real. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Everybody on the line here, I mean, everybody's welcome to come back. Everybody that's live with us got my phone number anyway, so everybody can hit me up whenever. Everybody's welcome back. And I'm with you on that. First, glory go to God, man, because, I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even be here right now.
Amen. Well, you know, I also want to send an open invitation for the Heaven's Gateway Chosen One Ministry. If you all want to come on the prayer and praise and worship show, okay, you know, we can play your music and introduce you on that. If you want to come on the Pastor's Corner, because the Pastor's Corner, we talk just about anything. You got an open invite to it. It will be an honor and a blessing to have you on the show. And 9 times out of 10, Doctrinn will be on those shows as well. So you have another familiar voice on the line. So,
amen.
I'll booze you again because I'm not grammatically correct. I'm going to reformulate what Steve Harvey asked sometime. What sounds better to y'all? I am poor in the wallet, or I'm is rich in the spirit?
Amen.
I'm is rich in the spirit.
Yeah.
Amen.
I'm is rich. There we go.
That's why I always, I be in the, I be rich in spirit. I be.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Gospel Wave. Y'all definitely tuned in. It'll be up all over the place by Wednesday. You know, special shout out to KD the Vessel, Kimberly, Plap, AsiaStar, and a special thanks to Verna for showing up today and blessing us with a testimony in her music. Yes. Next week we're going to be live in effect again with Annie Cruz, who's a singer and an author. We're going to get deep in that testimony as well. Lord willing, we will definitely see you guys next time. God bless everybody and one love.
Amen. Love you.
I love Amen. Here.
sharpen his anointed like they razors. Send us out in the earth with ray of music and word, slaying dragons to dirt and stumping them to the curb. Mantles full of his glory, snapping half every curse. Kingdom going berserk, cause I dominion this first. Your battle strapped in your armor, helmets on and we blazing. Place in place with our shields, for the devils we facing. Running gospel to nations, rocking truth like a station. Wave drawing the swords for Christ the King, he amazing. Church over we king.